And I hope you're excited. I hope you're fired up. And I want you to stay motivated till the end. You don't want to take $1 million P this afternoon. We got a lot of great information for you. First of all, I want to tell you how excited I am to be here. My wife and I, my beautiful wife, sitting up front, and I love her so much. She supports me so much in what we do in our business. But, you know, I want to tell you a little bit about myself before we get started. I was born in Haiti. I'm Haitian. All the Haitians, ça passe, you know? And so I was born in Haiti. I came to New York when I was 9 years old. You know, my mom immigrated from Haiti when I was 2 years old, and her dream was to make enough money to send for me to come to the United States. And it took her 7 years to achieve that dream. So I met my mom when I was 9 years old in Brooklyn, New York. And growing up in Brooklyn, any New Yorkers in here? Growing up in Brooklyn was awesome. Went to high school in Coney Island, graduated high school in 1985. I went to college. I went to State University of Farmingdale, Long Island, where I went to college. And my second semester of college, I was having a blast in college. And they had this course where the graduates from the year before came to speak to the freshmen. And I was watching the #1 person that had graduated in the same field that I was pursuing to do. And after he finished talking, I went up and I asked him, I said, my name's Dan Charlier. I want to do exactly what you do. If you were me, knowing what you know now, what would you do different? He said, I would drop out and I would go get a job. So literally the next day, I dropped out and I went back to Brooklyn. I told my mom, school's not for me. I got to find me a job. I got hired to be an exterminator at a Harlem hospital. Did that for a couple of months. And I think we have defining moments in our lives. I came home one day and my mom says to me, she says, look, I immigrated from a third world country and I didn't do all those sacrifices for you to become an exterminator at Harlem Hospital. You got to figure out what you're going to do, but you can't stay in this house. So the next day, I'm on the train and I see this Marine in a dress blue uniform and I said, man, what a beautiful uniform. And a thought came to my mind. Maybe what I'll do is I'll join the Marine Corps. Went home that night. We got any Marines in the house? We got a bunch of you, right? Yeah. We're going to go from Marine Corps green to WFG blue. We'll talk about that. And so I went home that night. I told my mom, I said, Mom, I figured out what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the Marine Corps. She said, do you know how tough the Marine Corps is? I said, Mom, if I can handle the Marine Corps, I think I can handle you. And the next morning, I get a phone call from the Marine Corps recruiter. And he says, we heard you want to join the Marine Corps. And I said, well, we who? He says, your mom called us and told us to come get you. But the next thing you know, I'm on the phone with the Marine Corps recruiter, and I got a hand in the air going to a place called Paris Island, the land that God forgot, right? And once I got in the Marine Corps, I actually loved it. I spent 13 years in the Marine Corps. 5 of those years was special duty. I spent 2 years as a Marine Corps drill instructor down in Paris Island. Matter of fact, I have one of my buddies that we were on the drill field together with. He just joined WFG. He flew all the way from Kuwait just to attend the company convention, and he's fired up. And so that's pretty exciting. And I did 2 years as a Marine Corps as a 23rd Color Sergeant Marine Corps, carrying the colors for the president. And in 1995, I took over the Marine Corps Silent Drill Team, #1 drill team in the world. And in 1995, the Marine Corps says you can go anywhere you want to go. And I said, I want to go to California. So I went to California. I was stationed there in 1996, Marine Corps Air Station El Toro. My job in the military was aircraft rescue. And our motto was, you crash, we dash. You bird, we learn. I don't know where that came from, but that was our motto, right? And in and I think we have defining moments. I got to a point in my life at 33 years old, I was really frustrated at where I was. I mean, I loved what I did. I thought I was going to be in the Marine Corps for 30 years, but I was frustrated in the standpoint that from a financial standpoint, I was struggling financially. And in 1997, a young lady by the name of Christiana Marlette, she prospects, she gets my number, and she gives it to her husband, a gentleman by the name of Ed Marlette. And I'll never forget it, on a Sunday night, I get a phone call from a Sunday night, and he says, "Hey, my name is Ed Marlette. I heard a lot of great things about you, and I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our firm." And I had started, and I thought to myself, because I had been exposed to the company before, and I wasn't interested. And I remember telling him on the phone, I said, "I looked at your company, and I'm not interested." He started laughing at me on the phone. And he said, "Of course you're not interested. How could you be interested in something you know nothing about? Matter of fact, where are you at right now? I'm coming to see you." And he came to see me. 45 minutes later. I'm sitting next to him, and he starts to tell me about the opportunity. And he starts to sell me a dream of what my life could be if I was willing to sell out. 2 months later, we had a convention, June of 1998. And I couldn't come to convention because I didn't have any money. I was broke. And all these things, I remember telling Marlette, I said, "Man, there's no way that I can make it to Vegas for a convention." He said, "Charlier, you realize you're 33 years old and you can't put a couple of $100 together to go see an opportunity that's going to change your life. The very fact that you don't have a couple of $100 is the very reason that you need to be here." And I remember I figured it out. 4 or 5 of my buddies, we got together on the team and we drove out to Vegas. We stayed in the Motel 6. All of us were broke. We chipped in for gas. We paid $35 a night for our hotel room. I had a gallon of water, a loaf of bread, some peanut butter and jelly, and I was sitting in the stand there and I was watching all the speakers on stage, all these stories that you're going to be hearing this afternoon and this morning and yesterday. And I remember saying to myself, "Man, this is my shot at the big time. This is my shot to actually achieve my dreams and goals." And I was sitting way in the stand. I don't know what anybody else was doing, but man, I allowed myself to buy into the dream. I allowed myself to envision. I looked at the company. Wow, was this a powerful company? Was it a credible company? The character of the leaders. I got a chance to see leaders like Richard Sidney Thorley and Swan Wynn and Bonnie and Lisa Holm and all these different leaders. And I said, "Man, I could believe behind this company." And I tell you, I left that convention June 1998, and I said to myself, "Man, this is my shot. This is where I'm going to plant my flag. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I know I'm at the right place at the right time with the right company, with the right leadership, and this is my shot." And I want to challenge you this afternoon. I want to challenge you this afternoon. If you've been in the company 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 years, or whether you're brand new, allow yourself to fall in love with what we do. Allow yourself to fall in love with WFG. Allow yourself to be sold a dream. Allow yourself to be sold a dream. You know, they say all the time, "Hey, Charlier, you're drinking that Kool-Aid." I've been drinking the Kool-Aid since 1998, and here's what I'm telling you. It's a great Kool-Aid to drink. So allow yourself to drink it today. Don't be too cool for school. Do not be too cool for school. And I want to tell you, my journey since 1998 to now has been an unbelievable journey. I've got a world-class team in Synergy Financial. I've got some of the top leaders some of the top leaders on our team. I met my dream wife in WFG. I recruited her into the WFG. She went from trading associate all the way to S&D, all the way to close to $100,000 a year. Then we got married. We built the business together. And one of the beautiful things that we had 3 beautiful boys together, Preston, Danny, and Matthew. And it's amazing It's amazing, the WFG environment. You know, there's WFG kids. We get a chance to travel all around the world. My wife and I, we average maybe 5 to 7 trips a year since 2005. This is unbelievable, you guys. And I want to tell you guys, as you're sitting here, whether you're a training associate, senior associate, MD, SMD, this is your shot. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies, and he was telling me he had just bought this beautiful property in Malibu, and I was congratulating on it. He says, man, Charlier, thank you for being happy for me. Thank you for being happy for me. And I thought about what he said. See, in corporate America, there's a saying in corporate America: it's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top. But you know what I found? It's lonely at the top in corporate America because there's only one person that can get to the top. See, in WFG, it's not lonely at the top. I've got some of my best business partners here for the last 20 years. It's not lonely at the top because everybody can get to the top. You can be on the stage. You can challenge yourself and build a team. So this afternoon, you guys, we've got some great things going on. I want to introduce one of the top leaders with Penny Oil. This guy's been with us for over 20 years, you guys. I was just talking to him backstage, and he was a really shy person. And it's interesting to see how our environment changes people. Our environment empowers people. And he was telling me he was afraid of the Mozone. He used to stand against the wall and not want to talk to anyone. Here you go, 20 years later. He's an SB. He's a senior vice chairman. He's over $500,000 a year, on his way to $1 million. And he leads an awesome team, and he's direct to Penny Oil. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to Mr. Jackie Tam.